Menopause is actually only 1 day in time.
Yeah.
It's 12.
What do you think is the toughest stigma to break in women's health?
We kind of say that we're unflinchingly real. Our marketing kind of really hits home. We call out the reality of what's happening.
What have been some of those crucial highs that you've had? You're like, oh, we got that right.
I came off the phone crying.
Yeah. That's the worst, isn't it? That's the first solution to go to. What are the key stages for anyone wanting to learn in their 30s about menopause?
If you're not feeling like yourself, do something about it.
Yeah.
Women just wait and wait and wait, and they don't put themselves first. Always said I'd never start a brand. Because I saw how hard it was.
Hey guys, it's Jack Johnson, one of the hosts of the Digital Cheesecake Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I was hoping if you could like and share our podcast, that would be absolutely amazing. The more you do that, the more we get awareness of our podcast. And thank you so much.
Well, welcome back to Digital Cheesecake. Remember to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, follow us on Instagram and everywhere online, basically. So today, really excited. We've got Wizz, the co-founder of Valerie Supplement, helping women with their hormone health, which we can go into loads. We've got lots of questions today. I'm super excited to have you join us. So thanks for coming today. So I think firstly, definitely want to just start on your journey and background and what kind of led you to Valerie.
Yeah, I mean, didn't think I'd be here, which I think is always a good start to anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a background in retail. So I spent 12 years working at Selfridges in buying. So worked across fashion, accessories, and latterly was head of beauty buying. So super fun jobs. And then I went to Soho House. I was director of their retail brands.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah. Then the last kind of 8 or 9 years had a consultancy business. So working with big brands and retailers, but also working with a lot of startup founders, kind of helping them to scale, how to pitch and launch with retailers. Having been a buyer, lots of people were like, how the hell do you get into retail?
That's
and you would have seen it all.
Yeah, exactly. Been pitched to thousands of times.
Gosh.
Always said I'd never start a brand because I saw how hard it was.
Yeah.
Here we are.
It probably puts you off quite a bit, when you're seeing the other side of it.
Yeah, totally. And also I think there has to be a real gap in the market.
Yeah.
I'd
agree.
Obviously, so many brands out there. It can be very saturated, certainly the beauty category.
Yeah.
Even now, it's impossible to get into, right?
Yeah. And you hear lots of brand founders say, oh, well, I couldn't find something for my skin. And I used to be like, did you Google it?
Did you start there?
But yeah, there's a lot of brands out there. And then I personally was in my late 30s and had a lot of health challenges. And I put it down to, I had no idea. Burnout, long COVID. This was kind of like 4 or 5 years ago now. I just had complete exhaustion, like serious extreme fatigue. Just couldn't get through the day without needing to sleep. Really increased anxiety, heart palpitations, hormonal acne came back like I was a teenager again. And I just like lost this sense of self. And I was like, well, I'm a couple of years till I'm 40. Like, what's going on? Is this normal?
Yeah.
Is this just
Am
life?
I tired from work? Yeah.
Yeah, middle-aged, got loads going on.
There's no guide telling you really, is it, when you get to these stages? Yeah.
They don't tell you about this at school.
No.
They tell you about the other stuff, like how...
I don't even know what
Yeah. So I went to the doctors, had a number of tests. They told me I was fine, tried to give me antidepressants.
Of course.
And I said, look, maybe a couple of years ago I actually might have needed them, but I've done a lot of work with talking therapy and various different kind of modalities and a bit of woo. And it's kind of like really helped me get anxiety under control and kind of how I was feeling. And I still had this exhaustion. And then, she said, well, maybe try not to get so stressed. And so I came off the phone crying.
That's the worst, isn't it? That's the first solution to go to.
And I hear it from women over and over again. And no talk of hormones at all. And then I went to see a nutritionist and naturopath and had a number of private tests, and I was really severely depleted in a lot of essential vitamins and minerals. So she set me up with a supplement plan, which I was taking. I was taking 20 supplements in the morning, 20 at night and 6 at lunch, which was mad.
Wow. I think mine's a lot too, and I try and reduce it, but that's enormous. It's so hard.
And most people won't do that. No. If we're being honest.
I mean, I was spending hundreds of pounds as well. And I had to label them all on my kitchen cupboard and which ones were which.
I have the granny container of all the... Ooh.
Yeah. had no idea that actually your body isn't really absorbing much of this, only about 10%.
True.
Anyway, gradually started to feel better. Probably after 3 months, I felt a little bit better. After 6 months, a little bit better again. But it took a long time. Then I bumped into my co-founder, Ollie, who we knew him socially, but had no idea what he did. I was talking at an event and he was there. And I was like, oh, well, how are you? What are you doing? What do you do? And he was looking for a co-founder. And so I was like, okay, well, I was also at a stage of my life where I was a bit like, what am I doing with my life? I feel like something new's coming. So he'd had this idea based on his mum's experience with menopause as well at 42.
That's how he's doing that.
Being offered antidepressants instead of, again, discussion about hormones, which, very quickly went in the bin because they had no impact because it was hormonal. And looking in the market and thinking, actually, there's not much here that's going to support a woman properly, and it's very boring category.
Wow.
Then we were like, okay, let's press go on this. He's got a background in health and nutrition, kind of from his degree, but also kind of working with a lot of supplement brands over the years. So he developed the product with a PhD scientist, which we then kind of put into production and testing and kind of getting the product right. We developed a formulation which is I suppose it's round the clock support, an AM and a PM for female hormone health, targeting kind of women over 35. So in the morning it's for energy, focus. It's very calming. A lot of women are feeling a lot more kind of anxious as well, and a lot more long-term benefits as well. So it's good for heart health, bone health, thyroid, all sorts of different things, immunity. And then in the evening, a lot of women are struggling to sleep. So it's helping you wind down into the evening, a more restorative sleep, and waking up more refreshed as well, and also kind of really helping kind of joint and muscle pain as well. So obviously when you're resting, you can, kind of heal a bit better as well. That's kind of how it was born. And we launched 18 months ago.
18 months. That is really cool. So did you both have this idea for the product, or how, did you have this in mind and you just thought, I think we need to go down this route, or how did the kind of
I mean, with Ollie's experience in kind of health, nutrition, supplement brands, we're working with what's called a liposomal format, and not many brands use it. So he was like, hang on, why is not as many people using it? It's much more effective. So it basically means it's much more bioavailable than traditional pills and powders. The nutrients encapsulated in billions of little liposomes, which are fat-soluble cells, which means that the nutrients can travel through your digestive system safely and get straight into your bloodstream. So it's the closest thing you're going to get to an IV drip.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So going back to my experience of taking 46 supplements a day, actually, now the morning one here has got 12 supplements in one, and the evening one's got 10. So people can get rid of their whole supplement cupboard of these kind of pills and powders or gummies that your body's not absorbing very well, and just have one shot in the morning and one shot in the evening, and you're done.
So do you take supplements anymore?
I take these. But
That's it. Wow. And it says 2 teaspoons a day.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's so much easier, because I think 30, what were you on, 36 or 40? Like that is crazy. And it's also crazy that that's what our bodies need to just, not even just survive, but thrive. Because that's the thing, I think a lot of women get to a stage where they're just sort of surviving. And I think that's where the frustration is. So it's, because it was, you mentioned it as well, it's kind of breaking the stigma, because I think as a society, we can talk about pregnancies and different things that women go through. But then you get to this point that if, you're lucky enough to get to this point, then everything stops and it drops off a cliff and no one starts talking about it. So what do you think is the toughest stigma to break in women's health?
Yeah, it's really interesting, because when we launched the brand, we were like, okay, where's this opportunity in the market? There's menopause, which everyone's talking about now, which is amazing. And there's some incredible people like Davina McCall that's kind of spearheaded that. And lots of other celebrities are talking about it. But again, lots of people don't know this, and men and women, but especially women, which seems mad. But actually, menopause is actually only 1 day in time. Yeah. Which is 12.
Yeah, it's only counted as like one pivotal moment. Basically.
I mean, I don't know enough about this. I'm very keen for this whole conversation. So 1 day.
Yeah. So it's 12
a month.
It's 12 months after a woman's last period.
Yeah.
So that day is menopause,
Which is
crazy. Which everyone misses. They don't really know. No one's really checking it.
Yeah.
So that's 1 day, and then everything after that is post-menopause. People call menopause generally So what most people think menopause is kind of the bit before maybe a year or so, or a year or two, which is hot flashes and irregular periods.
Yes.
And that can be a couple of years. People class menopause as that, as those kind of core symptoms. But actually everything before that is perimenopause.
It's like doomsday. Oh my God, this one day is coming up. So it's a lot, the worst, the heaviest part is what, pre or post?
Well, it depends on every woman, because people then think, oh, great, menopause, then everything stops. And it's like, no, for some women, the symptoms can carry on, or they can get different symptoms. And perimenopause can actually start 4 to 12 years before menopause. So there's 65% of women, there was a study in the States that says 65% of women are experiencing perimenopause symptoms in their late 30s, but they're not irregular periods and hot flashes. They're slightly increased anxiety, this kind of brain fog, this like just being really tired, slightly worse periods, like their PMS is starting to get worse, they're getting more irritable, like the rage. So things that you can kind of put down to other things, so people aren't necessarily connecting the dots.
It's hard to know,
because you could just be, normally the doctors will say when you're under 45 you're burnt out, you're stressed, and you're too young, so we're not going to talk about it, and they just kind of leave you to it, don't they, really?
But yeah, I think what's happening as well is there's obviously your hormones are fluctuating, and perimenopause just basically means that your hormones are even more wild. So as a woman already, we have this curve of up and down estrogen, progesterone every month. We have 4 different weeks of our cycle, and we're meant to feel different, which again, I didn't even really think about that until I started looking into this in my late 30s, and I read a book on periods, and I was like, because we're not even really taught about it. We're just taught about, we might get a bit teary and angry and more emotional and want some chocolate, and that's all we're taught about.
Chocolate related.
It's all we're taught.
Always chocolate related.
About our periods, and it's always negative, and it's not about actually, well, when you're ovulating, you might be more you might be better to do more sociable things or different types of things at work, and we're not taught about any of that, even on a basic period level. So when it gets to then your hormones start to fluctuate, perimenopause, so this kind of late 30s to kind of early 50s could be wild. It's like your hormones on a roller coaster. So sometimes you can have really high estrogen, sometimes you can have really low estrogen, your progesterone's starting to go down as well, and a lot of those hormones are kind of protecting you from, they're wired to all over your body basically, and they're protecting lots of other things. So your confidence, like anxiety, all sorts of things, lots of things in your kind of in your brain as well are triggered by that. So
I'm like in shock. I'm just like processing all of this because I'm going through pregnancy, and I'm like, oh my God, so this is all going to happen again, but in like a worse scale.
I know
women just go through so much. It's beyond.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's so crazy. And because I think that was definitely something that I read that you talk about as well, is actually kind of leading, managing. You're in, a high pressured role, and then you're then wanting to, co-found a product as well. So how do you do that whilst also managing your own symptoms and, this whole process basically?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. And I suppose in a way I'm in a great position because I'm learning about this all the time, and we work with doctors and nurses and menopause specialists, and so actually I'm kind of getting the most valuable and most information out there, which is great, but compared to a lot of women. But I think the key challenges that I personally find is energy and also my brain, and your brain is literally rewiring at this stage. So your estrogen is affecting how you can work and how you process things. So I now find very overwhelming is kind of small admin-based tasks kind of can feel like huge, like almost like this procrastination of being overwhelmed because there's things that I used to be able to do really easily, and that multitasking or that remembering, like literally remembering someone's name, I'm like, it's gone.
You just stop in your tracks, and it's like, what is that thing? Oh, it's
that's
scary.
The change in estrogen. And some days it's up and some days it's down, or some months, and you can feel fine for a couple of months and then feel completely different again. So that's what the challenge is. And I suppose it's A, understanding it, B, I suppose telling people about it, that this is why I'm overwhelmed, this is why this is really hard. But then also, yes, there's negatives, but on the positives, your brain is rewiring, and kind of almost when you come out the other side, which also no one even in menopause really talks about, is you have 2 hormones that then increase, which actually make you, again, very different kind of, I suppose, characteristically, it's kind of you're much better at leadership, you're much better at communication, you're much better at engaging with people, you're wiser. And so, it is an actual rewiring of your brain when you're going through perimenopause.
So on a very basic level, because I feel like you guys know a lot of this stuff and I'm just learning, what are the key stages for anyone wanting to learn in their 30s about menopause? What are the stages? I know you've covered it, but I'm like from a really basic level for those that are new.
Yeah, and I think the challenge is there isn't a huge amount of data or information out there. And literally 3 months ago, there was a new, I suppose, thing passed in government, which was at age 40, the NHS are now going to talk to women about menopause and perimenopause.
Wow, okay. And that's only just passed.
Yeah. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So there isn't a huge amount of information out there. I mean, and I think the number one thing that you can do is start tracking your periods, start tracking your symptoms and thinking about how you're feeling. Because there are over 50 different symptoms and they can change. They're going to be different to your friends, different to your colleagues, people you're talking
People
about.
have a lot of different apps. Do you ever recommend any apps for that or just track it?
Yeah, I mean, whatever works for you. If you want to track it in your phone, if you want to use an app, that's great. If you maybe just like a little journal by your bed and literally write how you feel that day. I think just whatever works for you, rather than overcomplicating it as well. I think that's the biggest challenge. Just think, okay, well, actually, or just track a couple of symptoms. I've always got brain fog. Okay, well, what day of my cycle am I
Interesting,
on this?
yeah.
Otherwise, it can just get overwhelming as well.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah,
but the very early symptoms are is that tiredness, so that kind of really low energy, increased anxiety, suddenly thinking, oh, I'm a bit scared of that. Like some people say, oh, I'm now scared of driving at night. Like, where's this come from? I never used to feel like that. Changes in skin. So that could be a lot drier skin. That could be kind of that hormonal acne coming back again. Hair thinning a bit. More brittle nails. Heart palpitations is one. Itchy, crawly skin. Changes like things like tinnitus, dry eyes. So there's all sorts of things. And sometimes your periods can stay completely the same, or they can start to get slightly like a day shorter, or maybe a couple of days longer. So there's sometimes can be some fluctuation in that, but the thing is, it's all subtle. A lot of women I speak to, they then look back and they're like, oh, this probably started 3 to 5 years ago.
That's literally the same for me. But then it's
interesting.
But then you get a moment where it kind of ramps up and you're like, hold on a minute. But then when you track it over the last, I don't know, probably for me, I'd say like 3 years, I think, okay, so it's been slowly doing that. And it kind of almost...
At the end of 30s or start of 40s, do you think?
End of 30s for me. Yeah. So... But then you just don't know because what if these things have been coming in a lot
or
sooner?
Women
but
like
you
had
just
kids or something, and then they go on to like that period of trying to have a break, and then it's
and some people can be forced quickly into it as well if they have a hysterectomy or something like that. So that can also happen, but it's almost like it just sort of creeps up on you, and then suddenly you have like a moment where you think, oh, actually, that's not right.
Yeah, but it's very common, like kind of late 30s, to start to feel things. But again, as women, as soon as we start our period, it's like, okay, we'll just power on, power through, and you're sent to school, and you've got your period pains, and go on, take.
That's just, I mean, that is the hardest part, right? You can't talk about it. There's like emotions. Everyone's now talking about like. You should be tracking. I've got with my husband, which is really, this is hilarious, but like my hormone changes.
Yeah, which is
I
so
never really
good.
used to ever track it, but then I was seeing someone and they were like, you really should try and communicate the days when you're like, whatever, up and down and etc. And he was like, neither did I didn't really know, but they were like, you just then both are on the same page about some of your needs that you have. But like the more you track it, the more you then really realize.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of different partners I know are really into people's cycles now, which is interesting because, like, one, it just, they're aware.
Yeah, because
I've got one where it just says, "Don't speak to me today."
Yeah, which is fair because that's the thing as well. When you're young, you always hear people say, "Oh, that woman, she's an old battle axe or whatever it is." But it is that thing because no one understands, because no one talks about it, and it's like, oh, actually, she's angry because this massive hormonal shift is changing, happening in her body that she doesn't have any control over. But people don't know that, do they? They just think you're a bit grumpy.
No, and a lot of men want to help. They want to understand, for sure. I think, and actually they're always fascinated by it. And when I talk to them, they look petrified because they don't know what perimenopause is or enough about it. And then I'm like, don't worry, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't.
So 5 years ago, I had no clue.
Yeah.
And then they're like at ease and they're like, oh, tell me, I want to know and help. And what can I do? So it is. I think we're all learning together. The whole world.
Exactly. Do you feel that it's easier if you speak about it, and that helps you manage and kind of lead in your kind of daily life as well? And
definitely.
Work?
I think you have to communicate about it and say, I'm having a good day or a bad day, and I think it just teaches you to share more. And I've realised, I think the more open and vulnerable, I suppose, it feels vulnerable, something I never would have done when I was younger. The more open I am, the more the better I feel, and the better people are really receptive to it as well. So I think that's it's better than going away and hiding and not communicating. And that could feel really hard, but I think it definitely helps,
because it can feel very isolating as well, even though billions of women are go through it, but it can feel very, not necessarily lonely, but you feel like you're the only one kind of going through it, I suppose. Yeah,
definitely. And we've got a community WhatsApp group, which
nice.
people love, because they're like, I found some people I can talk about these things with. And sometimes it's easier to put it on a WhatsApp group than actually tell your friends. Or your friends aren't at the same stage, or in denial, or don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Correct.
XYZ,
Still the education piece. So tell us about the product, how you can get it.
So we sell it online on our website. So wearevalerie.com.
I love the name. How did you think of the name?
Yeah, it means strength and vitality in Latin.
Cool.
So
really nice.
I wanted it to be like a friend.
That's
Valerie's got your back. We also sell it on Holland & Barrett online, Liberty stores and Revital stores.
Nice. Wow, you got into those brands. They're great brands to get into. How did you get into those?
Very exciting. So a couple of things was we've been trying to act bigger than we are for a long time.
That's good. Yeah,
that's what you want to do.
Though. So when we were building the brand, we wanted to build a brand that was disruptive, that stands out. So we kind of say that we're unflinchingly real, and our marketing kind of really hits home. We kind of call out the reality of what's happening. We use a lot of humour and comedy, so as well as being science backed,
it's great.
Our other pillar is kind of I suppose our comedic marketing. It's very tongue in cheek. I think people really resonate with that as well. We've done some fun guerrilla marketing stunts.
What are those? Can you share?
Yes. So we did this whole campaign that it literally spiraled. It was. We've got this amazing Carly, who's our fractional CMO, and she was at Southwest by Southwest. And she was like, okay, all of our customers are here. So she was like, right, we're going to, she's going to literally print out some flyers, like if you've lost your cat or your dog and you pull the things off. So she's like, let's create some literally posters that we're going to stick up. And it was like, if you remember the Spice Girls, you're probably in perimenopause. Literally rip off the QR code.
Like that,
So that kind of started by sticking them up. We did a discount code, Spice Up Your Life, and did various different nostalgic pop bands. And suddenly all these sales started coming in. We were like, this is brilliant. We stuck them all around Shoreditch. And then it kind of rolled out to the whole summer. So we went and popped up at Wimbledon. It had
had
these massive signs, if you remember Andre Agassi, you're probably in perimenopause. If you had a swing ball, you were probably in perimenopause. And then we'd kind of do guerrilla marketing. We'd put flyers and posters up everywhere. We went to Ascot and did horse racing type ones and put them up in all the ladies' loos. It kind of became into
going back to the basics of stuff. I love that.
Yeah, and so people kind of kept just seeing us everywhere. We do a lot on LinkedIn as well, which I think is really powerful.
How many sales do you think you got from just doing that piece?
Yeah, it was a good percentage of our sales.
Wow.
I mean, we put discount codes on it as well, so we could track some of it. And then, of course, we're doing a lot on kind of digital and our ads as well. So people are seeing us in lots of places.
Love that.
We've had some great press. We've been did some stuff with the Daily Mail, which is exciting. We did a great collaboration last year with a brand called Wooker, who's kind of 10 times our size at that point. So again, working with some good influencers, some great creators. Just being noisy, I suppose.
Definitely.
So people had heard about us. And then having a different product. Not many people use a liposomal format. No one in female health does.
True.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, the other biggest brand that does is Zuki, but they're single ingredient formulas.
Right, okay.
So no one's putting 12
Yeah,
in.
wow.
So our daily's got 12 in. That's kind of 12 supplements in one daily shot. So yeah, we've got a product USP as well. So yeah, when you're pitching to a retailer, you need to have a point of difference to what's going on in the market. And also a brand that customers are going to recognise once they go into that store and see it. Because once you're stocked with all of those other brands, a brand can get really, really lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long was the process of like the R&D of like getting the product right? Because we had before someone who said 15 months.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to get the product right?
Yeah, it was a bit on and off. So Ollie had developed with a PhD scientist what would go in the formulation, and then it was then sourcing a manufacturer.
Yeah.
And then it was then once it was in the manufacturer, then making sure what worked together. Also the taste, because if you leave liposomal on its own, it can be pretty gross.
Yeah.
Whereas actually these are really nice. So one's a wild berry flavour, one's vanilla.
Oh, nice. Vanilla. Wouldn't
Love
expect
that.
that.
Yeah.
So it's quite funny. People taste them.
On ice cream?
They're going to go, this is going to be gross. And then their face goes like, oh, actually.
You're
Yeah.
so
But no,
used to
I
it.
think
You're
the
so used to it
supplements,
being
you're
gross.
just like, it's not going to taste nice, but I just need to get it down. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, 95% of people like it. There's always going to be a few that don't. But,
Was it long process, short?
Yeah, well, longish, yeah.
I know a lot of people that are even listening to this that are just like at that stage where like it's just back and forth with manufacturers and like, is this the right manufacturer? Do I need to go down another route? And you start compromising. I guess where's the point where you don't want to compromise on the product, you know?
Yeah, I don't think you can compromise on the product because
you're pushing that piece.
if you don't have a repeat
work.
customer, you have no business.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, we have a very strong subscription business.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, people that love it, that have been on it since the start and just can't do without it, or people have taken it and then stopped and they're like, I can't cope, I need to go back on it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
good
people
feedback.
really feel a difference as well.
Okay, that's
Did you
that's
start
really
with a
encouraging.
subscription business, or was it you were like, oh, we should do the subscription later?
Yeah, we started with subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
clever.
Yeah.
And then does it have the kind of daily recommend allowance of each of the
for some of it, but not for all of it.
Okay.
But again, if we go back to how much your body absorbs, so yeah, the recommended daily allowance, if you're only absorbing about 10% of it in a pill and powder format,
Right.
I mean,
It's not
you're not
going to
to
be
get
much
it anyway.
anyway.
So
Okay.
actually what you're taking here, you are going to be absorbing most of it.
Nice. And can you take it alongside HRT?
Yes.
Okay.
What's
Yes.
HRT?
Hormone replacement therapy.
A lot of people listening who would be like, don't know.
Yeah. So that's good to know as well, because, a lot of people wouldn't want to compromise on one or the other.
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, and they do very different things. So
Yeah.
essentially this is vitamins, minerals, botanicals. That's in the product. So for example, the daily's got things like B6 and B12, which is really good for energy. It's got magnesium. It's got zinc, which is great for hair, skin and nails. It's got chromium, which is good for blood sugar balance. A lot of people's weight starts to really, well, I was going to say fluctuate, just increase. Actually with hormonal change. Things like iron, and lots of people are quite deficient in iron.
Yeah.
It's got curcuminoids, which is turmeric extract, which is really good for inflammation. Selenium, which is good for things like thyroid.
Yeah.
Ashwagandha, again,
We
which
love
is very
ashwagandha.
calm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's an adaptogen which helps your body adapt to stress.
Wow.
So yeah, there's lots of great ingredients in there.
That's
Nutrients,
amazing.
I suppose.
So with the roadmap, what's the plan for the next 6 months?
Oh, we've got lots of exciting things. What can we say?
That's a real question,
We're fundraising at the moment again.
Cool.
So we are, once we've closed that round, we'll be in kind of big growth mode.
Nice.
Again. We've got another big retailer on the cards, which we can't announce yet, which is exciting.
That's exciting.
And we've also got a pretty major partnership coming up, which is going to be incredible. Which I'm
How long
so
has that
excited
taken?
about.
How long is that, like a lot of people are trying to push these partnerships. So how long is that, like, especially with the bigger one that you've been building for, how long has that kind of taken to get to?
So it's probably started talking about 6 months ago.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, and then we're looking to do it in Q2.
Yeah.
We're just kind of getting that locked down. But yeah, the founder is a major female celebrity.
Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
a clue.
Cool. more.
Yeah,
that's the stuff you really want.
So keep your eyes peeled on that.
For that one.
Oh, that's exciting.
And then again, once we've closed fundraising raise, we'll be doing new product development as well. So we'll be doing our daily one in kind of single sachet servings, which is a big demand for. So you keep this in the fridge once it's opened, which is great for a morning ritual. But if sometimes people forget, they like to have them on the go, or if they're traveling, things like that.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah, looking at new product development as well. So,
what have been some of those crucial hires that you've had, like that you really when you started it? Because this is your first business. Yeah, first brand. Yeah. So what do you feel like you're like, oh, we got that right, you know? Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, launching the retailers was massive. And I think Liberty was huge.
Yeah, that was quite recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, we launched in January. It's such an iconic store.
Yeah.
Wellness was a new category for them, which they launched in the beauty hall, and they only launched 8 brands, and we were one of them. To launch us alongside brands like Ancient and Brave and Wild Nutrition that have been around for years, that's so cool. And just like seeing it in that physical shop is amazing. And we got a reorder from them within a couple of weeks, which was brilliant. So we were like, okay, it's selling well, this is great. And so that was a real high. And again, Holland About Online is massive, so we're really keen to get into stores with them. They are great in that natural space. That's the dream. That's in the plan. We just need to again keep proving the business, keep proving the sales online. The Daily Mail was great. We saw some great traction come from that. We've done some stuff with Liz Earle, so she's fantastic. Nice. So she obviously has the skincare brand, but she also has she sold that to Boots, and she now does Liz Earle Wellbeing. So she writes books. She's a real expert in health and wellness, and she called this the gold standard of supplements.
Nice. That's good stuff.
We've done a couple of Instagram lives with her, and that's been pretty major as well. Brilliant. Those have been some really good wins.
And did you bootstrap the business, or was there fundraising at the start?
Yeah, we fundraised at the beginning.
Oh wow!
So, it took a long time.
That's a long. Yeah, it's hard. Definitely.
Yeah. We started raising before we launched, when it was, I suppose, just a concept. Then we started developing the product with the manufacturer. We were kind of at that stage, so kind of getting close to where we needed to. And then it rolled on and rolled on and rolled on. So then we were trading. So I think everyone thinks they can do it quickly, but
no,
it doesn't really work like that. And then your community is a massive part of this as well, isn't it? Because I've seen that you're doing like wellness days and things like that. So do you do a lot of activity that feeds into the community?
Yeah, definitely, and that's really important to us as well. So I think lots of people talk about community, but it's kind of their Instagram followers.
Yeah,
whereas,
it
doesn't really convert. At the moment we have it in a WhatsApp, and I'm sure at some point we'll get to a critical mass that's too big, and we'll move on to something else. That's really powerful, and people really like that. So, and then we'll do online events for them, kind of with experts, so they kind of come in and on Zoom or watch replays. So people really value that, kind of with doctors or psychologists and things like that. So
it's that added value to a community, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we have a retreat for International Women's Day, and we did one last year as well.
Wow, cool.
So that's a one-day retreat that we're hosting in Richmond, which is really cool to bring people together in person. And then we've done some fun partnership events as well. So partnered with it's amazing DJ, and she runs a day rave called Mums That Rave.
Nice,
cool.
Kind of done pop-ups with her. We try and do as much in real life stuff as possible as well, because it's trying to find out where's this woman hanging out. How do you build trust with them as well? So I think it's obviously very important. You can build a lot through digital, but actually with this consumer, people are being marketed to a lot. They've tried other supplements. They felt they haven't worked. Like, why should I try this one? So there's a big I think
storytelling piece there.
Storytelling, engaging, and getting to know people as well.
Because it's such a big thing, because you go online and there's just so much that tires you out in itself. So if you can actually get out there, speak to people directly, I think that's what people want. Because we always say, with AI, everything's digital. I think people just want to actually speak to another human being now. And especially with this experience as well, it's about sharing it, because then you just don't feel so alone, I think. So it's good. It's a really good idea to have the community, I think, with this. Love it.
Love it. So what should we leave our listeners with? What do you think?
Gosh, good question. Yeah, I suppose a bit of advice, really. I think just if you're not feeling like yourself, if you're feeling like something's off, do something about it. Because women just wait and wait and wait, and they don't put themselves first. They put everyone else first, family, work, friends, partners, and this stage of a woman's life, it's never been more important to put your life jacket on first. But women don't, and there's a big shift that needs to happen. For people to understand the power of doing that, and it can feel really scary. So I think really starting to listen to your body, track what's happening.
Great advice.
And talk to people about it, and whether that's friends, whether you want to come and join, anyone can join a WhatsApp group. It doesn't have to be just customers. So that's good. Come and message us, message me. Always happy to talk to people. It's about community and coming together in this, and there's strength in that. So if you've got any questions on the product, come and ask us as well.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you so much.